Man, you ever thought about playing Tupac? Guess who I just met? I just met Tupac's mom, Finish Shakur. And I told her about y'all and I want y'all to meet her. I've always felt connected to Tupac and his legacy. I think because throughout my career, I've always had experiences with his legacy. I think the first time in high school, right out of high school, I was in an R&B group. We were living in Atlanta, Decatur. And this is when Tupac was at the height of his career. He was in jail at Rikers up north. And I was in a singing group and we were trying to get a deal, touring around Atlanta. And there was a guy who we knew who worked at a car dealership who knew of us. And who was cool friends with our manager. He came over one day and he said, hey, guess who I just met? I just met Tupac's mom, Finish Shakur. And I told her about y'all and I want y'all to meet her. We were like, what, for real? So we got a chance to sit down with her and Tupac's sister and have lunch with her during a tough time for her when Pac was incarcerated, really tough time for hip hop, period. And I got a chance to meet Idi Amin and some of the outlaws at the same time. And that was a really cool day. We were inspired and I think we kind of brought some comfort to the situation for her. And it was just kind of a surreal moment. And then years later, when I'm in LA, I'm performing at R&B Live, doing these live sets. This guy named LT Hutton, shout out LT Hutton, comes up to me and says, hey man, you ever thought about playing Tupac? And I was like, not really, because I personally, ain't gonna lie, I couldn't really see myself playing Pac. But he said, I want you to come sit down and meet in my office. So we sat down, talked about the movie, was still in development. And of course, they went on to cast my man D-Ship, which was the perfect cast, I think. But ironically, years later, 5 years later, when the movie was up and running, I was in Atlanta where they were shooting. I was shooting Saints and Sinners. I come downstairs in the lobby. Sitting at the bar is LT Hutton and Benny Boone, who directed the movie. And LT says, hey man, I got a role for you to play his manager. I want you to be a part of the movie. A lot of times people in Hollywood, they say things, but you don't really, you have to take it with a grain of salt because you don't know if they mean it or not. But sure enough, he was a man of his word. He cast me to play Tupac's manager, which is what you see in All Eyes on Me. And the first thing when I get on set, who do I see? Idi Amin, who I hadn't seen in years. We hooked back up. We ended up cutting 2 records. Shout out to The Pain, which y'all need to hear. Black Boy Joy with Young Noble came through and representing the video. Shout out to Young Noble, rest in peace. And that was, you know, kind of like the icing on the cake for me to be a part of that legacy, to be able to perform with the Outlaws, to be in a movie representing a rap legend, which just was kind of so out of the blue, one of those cool Hollywood moments for me where kind of one of my idols I got a chance to represent in a movie and make records with some of the guys in his band. So shout out to the great Tupac, shout out to Idi Amin, shout out to the Outlaws, rest in peace Young Noble, shout out to LT Hutton for putting me down with that one. All Eyes on Me. Check that thing out.